I'm actually breaking this news to the podcast before I broke it to the admin team of Muswell Hill. So if you're listening, hello, guy.
Hit the best chip of my life and hold the chip for birdie.
You chipped in?
I chipped in.
OB.
6 OBs.
Yeah.
I told you golf was interesting.
It is a fun sport.
You see? It
Look
is
at
fun.
this. Those guys own it now. What, a bit of it? No, the whole thing.
It is fun unless you're a woman living in Saudi Arabia, in which case it's not that much fun.
Welcome back, my friends, to another episode of your favourite golf podcast. It's golf. It's ruining my life.
Very nice. Nicely introduced.
Thanks. Felt quite relaxed today.
Well, I would say it's because we're slipping into a heat coma, to be honest. That's why it felt so good. Welcome back
My God.
to Live from the Sauna. Golf is ruining my life.
But
Yeah.
I would like to remind you, and as I've said on my radio show numerous times over the last few days,
Well, obviously, I know what you're talking about because I listen.
thanks. Let's not complain about this because we complained about the wetness during the winter. We complained about the coldness. This is the golfing season. This is what we've been waiting for.
Yes.
I went to bed last night because I was very tired at 9:30 and it was still light.
Oh, you went to bed when it was still light.
Yeah, I could have played golf.
I mean, I do that in October,
yes.
which is an achievement.
just-
We're talking in the mid-5s.
It's because you just detest your family. That is.
Bye, guys. Daddy's going to bed.
See you.
Yeah, it is. It's great playing golf in this. I played my first round the other day where it was properly dry on the fairways. So the ball would just doink onto the fairway and it would just do whole new things. Summer golf has arrived. And also, 3 of us played and we all thought we were going to play brilliantly. You know, we always talk about this, the expectation confronted by the reality, the bounciness of the car park on the way in and the misery on the way out. And we all thought we were going to hit great rounds. And the major thing that got us was the number of putts, the first putts that we hit past. So maybe getting
just ran
nicely
it,
in the middle of the
yeah.
green, and suddenly you got a birdie putt. And that feeling of going from a birdie putt to a bogey, and sometimes a couple of us 4-putted because the ball just kept rolling.
Yeah.
It's like someone's turned up the gravity.
I wish you could bottle that feeling of there is nothing funnier than the birdie putt that turns into a bogey on a hole. Because I always have the same thought. I'll go, I got this. And then you roll it 5 foot past. You're like, why didn't I just put it close?
Yeah.
Who the hell do I think I am thinking I could get a birdie there? Put it close and you had a par. Now look at you, Tom. You're barely getting a bogey, you stupid C.
And that's it then.
That's what I think.
Your massive C-bomb.
Yeah.
It's incredible though how, is there any other sport, or indeed in life, like it's like going from, you're about to sign a deal that is going to make you a multi-millionaire. And seconds later, you've lost everything. You've lost your house, your family, your kids.
Yeah.
That's how it feels when you 3 or 4 putt.
And there's no one to blame other than yourself.
Oh my gosh.
I actually sent the text to my friend earlier today saying, just talking about a few of the things. I was like, golf isn't fair. Golf is not a fair sport, so don't expect it to be fair.
Someone said the other day, these guys were in a buggy behind us. Really nice. And I was like, do you want to go through? Because, it's 3 of us and there's just 2 of you. And she said, no, we won't go through. We're fine. We're just having a relaxing round of golf.
You what?
What? Excuse me?
You what, mate?
That's like having an enjoyable, sentence in prison.
Yeah, it's impossible.
It's not possible.
But when I did say this to my friend, that I was like, golf isn't fair. Maybe there's for some people, it doesn't matter that it's not fair because it's just about the enjoyment of the sport. Have we ruined what should be an easy, relaxing thing? It doesn't matter about score.
Yeah.
That's what I said to my friend. When I said to my friend, I was like, I don't get this with golf because golf isn't fair. But for him, and he's probably like a mid-20s handicapper,
It's fun. Golf is fun.
it doesn't matter, right? You're
It's
just
unbelievable.
there.
It's unbelievable when they do. And you do get the sort of person who you hit a bad shot and they go, up there. And you're like,
Don't you dare.
why are you looking at me? Don't even look at me. I can't be responsible for my actions. But yeah, you're right. I think certainly I feel like I'm wrong in that situation. It's supposed to be fun.
It shouldn't really matter so much about score, but in our pursuit,
Yeah.
and I don't want to lay the blame particularly at your door here, but your door more than most, especially more than me these days, is a pure pursuit of
Perfection.
lower handicaps, better scores, must score better.
I thought I was going to shoot the other day. I was like, I'm playing really well. I've won a few matches recently, but match players are very different beasts
Yeah.
to stroke play. And I genuinely went out thinking it's going to be a good single figure. It's going to be like a 5-over job. The very, very benign conditions, but dry, hard.
Perfect.
Well, yeah, but I've forgotten how much when it's hard with fairways bouncing all over the place, mate. They're not fairways; they're unfairways.
Ka-ching! Look at
And
that.
let me tell you, 16 over par for my round. 16 over par. And that is a recorded round on my EG. You can see it.
On Muswell Hill?
Yeah, on my home course.
Oh, man.
Breaking news from my EG, by the way. And we will get on to the big issues of the day.
It's like something... There has been some golf news, right?
Yeah, there's been some golf news. We'll get on to that.
No, who cares?
But I mean, listen, guys, welcome to Golf is Ruining My Life. If you want to know what this podcast is really like, we can either talk about the Live PGA merger for the first time, or I could tell you
what's
that,
happened?
Well, hang on. Or I could tell you that my EG, the England Golf app, has just emailed me, and you can now put scores in Wales, Scotland, and Ireland.
Far more important.
Way more important than some Live PGA nonsense.
Who cares?
I want to know, where can I do my golf admin? Over the border? Yes, please, my EG. Yes, please.
So hold on. Until recently, if I'd gone on a golf trip to Scotland, I couldn't have put my scores in.
You couldn't have put them in on my EG.
I didn't know that.
Isn't that insane?
That is insane, yeah.
Completely ridiculous.
But this is going to become a more prominent issue in my life because I broke some news to you about 20 minutes ago.
Still recovering, to be honest.
That I'm actually breaking this news to the podcast before I broke it to the admin team of Muswell Hill. So if you're listening, hello, Guy. I'm leaving. I'm leaving the golf course.
I'll be okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
It's not okay, is it?
It's not okay. I mean, it's fair enough because you are moving house.
Quite literally moving
It would
away
be
from
quite weird to stay there and be a member when you live an hour and a bit away.
Yeah, 50-minute commute to play golf.
Weird.
Yeah.
Weird. Especially when where you're moving to has got loads of nice golf courses that I'll be able to come and play on.
Of course.
So I'm very keen for you to go meet new golfers. You know, if you love someone, set them free and then go and play on, wherever it is for a reduced price.
As a father, but you can't keep your kids close. You've got to let them.
And I think of you as, you're the golfing son I never had, apart from my son who plays golf.
Yeah. But he's not as good as me.
No. You're not far off.
It's probably true. It's probably true these days.
No, it's really exciting. Yes, you are leaving. Again, the breaking news here on Golf is Ruining My Life. Is it, the US Open coming up? Is it the Canadian Open being won by a Canadian? No. Tom Green's moving house.
Yeah, and I'm going to go get nearer to nicer golf courses.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, right? Let's be brutally honest.
Always, this is a safe space, this podcast.
We live in North London, and if you live in any major city, London being probably the prime example of this, it's very hard to find good golf. Mm-hmm. And I brought my friend down to play golf at Muswell Hill in winter last year.
Yes.
And I was like, come and play my course. It's in London. It's this is what you've heard about on the podcast. And after about 6 holes, he was like, I think I've played better places than this. And he is not a good golfer. And I was like, wow, that shows how not bad, but how tilted our opinion is of this place because we live in London and it's all we know and it's hard to get to anywhere else.
But it's also beautiful in summer and it is looking really nice at the moment. They've just had some big club tournament there and it is in fine fettle. The greens, though, a bit too fast.
Are you struggling?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you the other day. 3-putting left, right and centre. It was a nightmare. And you know me, Tom. If I 3-putt, it takes me roughly 6 holes to get over it, during which time I then 4-putt, 5-putt, 6-putt. It was bad.
Can we please talk about your scratch match, though?
Yeah.
Because you've had like 4 big rounds of golf since we last did. Oh my God, I forgot. Sorry we weren't here last week.
Yeah, well.
We were both on holiday.
We basically had holidays a week after the other. So I did Portugal.
And I did the south of France.
Right.
Annoying.
Really annoying, especially when, I didn't know if you know this, but Portugal, there's quite a lot of golf courses there.
Yeah, I'm aware of that, yeah.
Going on a holiday with a very non-golfing family, being surrounded by golf courses, can you imagine what that's like?
Yeah, because I've never had that. I've been on holiday to Portugal, but I'm quite lucky that Em's dad's a big golfer.
Right.
So we've always played golf.
Right.
On a week to Portugal last year, or the year before, I got 3 rounds of golfing.
3?
Over 7 days.
Oh my life, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's less than you got 3 rounds of golfing. It's more that you had 4 normal days where you didn't play golf. That's how you describe that. That's a golfing holiday where family got in the way.
Yeah, annoying.
This was agony. Every time I drove past the golf course, we were like on our way to do a family thing at a beach or something like that. Oh my. And we had a great time and it was magical. And I definitely didn't stand in the sea practicing my golf swing.
Oh, did you?
Well,
he's used to being in the water.
Good, very good. All the sand. All the sand. It's very good.
Yeah, they both work.
It's good stuff, mate.
Thanks.
You're doing really well. Anyway, we've been away and I've had a couple of matches. I've played a scratch match.
That's the only match I want to hear about.
Fine.
Because I don't really care about handicap matches so much because I don't think they're as exciting as... Are you okay?
I'm really sweaty. I'm really sweaty.
It's hot, isn't it?
So hot in here.
I want to talk about your scratch match because I think that's the most exciting.
Yeah.
Because I've not known you play a scratch tournament before. The last time I knew you were going to play a scratch tournament, it was probably a few years ago, and you pulled out the day before. It didn't end up happening.
It was amazing. So it's a tournament, and the best 32 players in the club play, and I have done one match. The main thing about playing club golf matches, right, is the biggest challenge of all is diaries.
Yeah.
Because I'm in
like
the
this podcast.
Oh my God, it's like this. I'm in a foursomes tournament. And most of what we do is send messages backwards and forwards saying, no, can't do that. You're trying to get 4 random people who have 4 completely different lives to meet together at the same time for 4 hours. I mean, that in itself, someone should get a trophy for that. There should be a board for, best golf tournament admin, right? That's a board I could possibly get on.
Yeah, you'd be good at that.
In terms of best golf, I'm not getting on that. So match number 1, I played against a guy called Ben, who was really nice. He was off 6. So similar to me.
Okay, so you're in similar footings, which is good. Did you know that before you teed off?
Yeah. You could see what his handicap is. So I definitely wasn't going onto Google and searching him and looking him up on Facebook. I didn't face stalk him or anything like that. Why would I do that?
Weird.
It's not like I want to try and get inside his head or anything.
No.
Find out things about him, then I could just drop in that, his great enemy in his career was doing really well.
How are you dealing with your mum's death?
Yeah, exactly.
Sort of thing,
all that sort of stuff. Didn't do that at all. So it started really well. I parred the first 4. Because something...
Wow, which on Muswell Hill, you've heard it here before, is a real difficult thing to do.
Here's the thing about playing match play golf. When I'm playing against someone, suddenly I've got someone else to play against. Because when I play golf, normally, I'm just playing against myself.
Yeah. And you can beat that guy up.
And this guy, I'm never beating that guy.
Yeah.
It's impossible for me to beat Tom. He's the worst opponent ever. It's
the saddest thing.
When I've got an actual real-life opponent to beat, it just focuses you. I went, pop, and I won the first 4 holes, so I was 4 up through 4.
Massive.
I was really pleased about it. And then he came back in. He got a couple of loose bogeys, and then he started playing better. And then I had a bit of a wobble.
Hold on, you are not going to enough detail here.
Okay, fine.
So you were 4
up through 4.
You must be feeling at this stage pretty.
Yeah, I was trying to keep calm.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing the thing which I do, which is when I'm having a good round, I text Tom Green.
Yeah.
Hello, mate. Look at my drive on 7. Guarantees that's the end of my good round.
Had you had the thought at 4 up where you were like, oh, maybe I should chill out because I don't want to embarrass this guy? Had you got that confident?
Oh, you mean the Brazil-Germany football match when Germany was spanking Brazil so badly at halftime, something like 7-0, that apparently they all said in the interval in the green room, I don't know what they had, let's no more goals, guys, because we're going to humiliate them in front of their families. It's not fair. How nice is that?
And then what happened? Did they still win?
They won something like 7-0 or they scored 1 more, kind of by accident, like playing against the kids. No, that never occurred to me at all. I wanted to beat him 9-8 because I wanted to go home.
Yeah, very hot.
Because I had things to do. I had to get home and do admin for my other golf tournament that I was in. I had to get back on the WhatsApps. Then he started hitting a few pars and I got just hit the bogey golf rut. Definitely in a bogey golf rut at the moment.
Okay.
Bogey. And then suddenly we're back at all square.
Where?
The 12th, short par 3.
Oh, God. And the thing is with going from 4 up to all square.
Yeah.
God, it's swinging in the wrong way at that point, isn't it?
I'm bottling it. I'm becoming a story.
Yeah, because also all square isn't all square in your head.
He will feel 3 up.
Yeah.
Totally
course,
that.
Yeah.
And I knew that. And then I'm on this little par 3, which is stroke index 18. He hits it in the middle of the green. Holeable birdie putt. I pushed it right under a tree.
Good. Yeah.
Under a tree. You know the
big tree on the right, yeah.
Right. So I walk up.
So you missed it short?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I'm about to go 1 down, having been 4 up.
Oh.
The full Tom Price collapse is on. So I get up to this chip and I look at it, and then
And let me just paint this even more.
Please do.
It's a very dry part of the golf course that I find playing under that tree is either in winter, muddy, awful horribleness, and in summer is that cracked, dry.
That's right.
Like almost playing off concrete.
Yeah. Like a terrible wildfire has just been through and you've decided to have a game of golf on it.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, there's all bits of smoke going past you.
But Muswell Hill's a really good golf course.
Do play there, guys. It's great. Very welcoming.
Yeah.
Great parking. And I got up to the chip and I was like, oh, mate, this is bad. One of those chips where your ball is really way above your feet. So I throttled right down on a 50 degree.
So every chance this is coming out left.
Oh, exactly.
Left
Well, it
hard.
aims right. And also because the ground is going right to left as well.
Don't you love when you also aim right and then it doesn't even turn? But anyway, sorry.
And it goes dead straight.
Yeah.
Hit the best chip of my life and hold the chip for birdie.
You chipped in?
I chipped in.
Huge.
He missed his putt for birdie because it was very missable. Yeah. I went 1 up. Then I won the next hole 2 up, next hole 3 up. Half the next hole, then I won the 16th. So I won like 4-2.
I'm so proud of you. That's one of the
Really?
coolest stories I've ever heard.
I'm really proud
Aren't
of
you
too.
cool?
I'm so glad that by hook or by crook, in this podcast, in this show, we have built a place where we can come and tell these very average golf stories, but enjoy them.
Yeah,
it's just wonderful.
In terms of average golfer, we are going to have to go to a break in a
Yeah.
second. This is why golf is an amazing sport, is because you can have those moments of pure sporting excellence on a really average footing. Like we had this on my Portugal golf trip. Everything was square, all square across everything. We played 3 full days of golf, and it was down to the final 2 blokes going head to head down the 18th. They both went OB 3 times.
No.
But it was the most competitive hole still. OB, 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 OB.
6 OBs.
Yep.
That is. Are they still there?
Are
Are they home?
No one
Do their
ever
families know?
Who knew who won that round? So then they're like, okay, we're just going to take 7 irons. But it doesn't matter that they're both on 12 because the point is they're head to head.
And those heads have gone.
And they're burnt.
That
and
is-
they're hungover.
They just want to see their families again.
That's what's great about golf, though.
Wow, it's fantastic. And he said to me afterwards, what I've enjoyed about matches, and I've played a couple of other ones as well. I played a really good player in a foursomes situation, and afterwards you sit there and you go through the game. You sort of open up a bit because when you're playing, you keep it secret, right? You don't say how you felt at certain points, and then afterwards you go, "Mate, I can't believe I chipped in," or whatever. You know, he said, "Yeah, when you chipped in, that was it. I was done. I gave up. I was so gutted." He was furious. He was really cross.
Wow.
So happy. It's
What sort of guy was he? Young, old?
young, like 30, something like that.
Right.
And then the guy I played against in the foursomes is famous at the course. I won't name him for being a very, very cantankerous man, very cross.
Okay.
Gets very, very angry indeed. And watching someone else get angry is really interesting. When you have a bit of a Tyrrell Hatton thing going on yourself.
You're the angry guy normally.
Right. So I'm watching him and I'm like, why do you get angry? You look so stupid. Can't believe you're getting angry. And as an opponent, it galvanizes you so much. If you are playing competitive golf, never get angry because you're literally handing them shots. I played honestly like 20% better when I saw him getting angry because I was like, I've got him.
Yeah.
Never get angry. And we won. It was amazing.
Massive. That must have been like standing in front of a mirror on the golf course. What's this guy doing? It's normally you.
It was
You're
quite a
the
shock
guy.
to watch him and go, this is very sad, very sad. Sort of like an alcoholic going, can't believe you're drinking.
Yeah.
Just opening a kind of strongbow. It's been a great couple of weeks.
Now, as much as I've loved hearing about your scratch match,
course.
right? There are other things going on in the world of golf this week.
We should
One of
address
them-
those.
One of them being arguably the biggest golf news that the sport has ever seen.
No, we did that. The MyEG email. About
No,
being able to-
not that. No.
Oh, right, okay.
Arguably the biggest bit of news the golf world has ever seen.
Yeah, we did that. Me beating that guy Ben 4-2.
The biggest piece of not me leaving Muswell Hill. It's a funny joke. It's the Live PGA merger.
Let's talk about it more after this.
Oh, I cannot wait to get into this.
I was at the golf course when the news dropped.
I was on a beach in the south of France, and it was one of those moments.
You needed a golfer. Is anyone here a golfer?
Em's dad was there. I ran over, was like, look at the news! Look what's happened!
Honestly, I thought it was a joke.
And I've seen people online say it was like, where were you during 9/11? And I mean, is it the same as that?
There is a connection. Hi, Liv.
Oh God!
I-
Okay, Jay Monahan.
I think it is like, to give it a British twist, the Conservative Party and the Labour Party merging. It is like Republicans and Democrats merging. These guys have been at loggerheads. Liv was born 18 months ago, and they have been against each other constantly in everything they do.
Yep.
And now suddenly, they're not just going to work alongside each other, cheek by jowl. I could almost understand, and we've talked about this before. Maybe Liv opens up and has a September to November chunk of the calendar or something like that. They're merging.
They are one entity. So, before we get into this, I'm very conscious that we are recording this on the 12th of June, and by the time this goes out, anything could happen. So I don't want to talk so much about details of what's happened because I think the details are changing so much.
Yeah.
I would rather focus on what this means for the sport, whether we think this is wholly a good thing or a bad thing, or how you feel, because I'm so happy that this has happened. I'm so happy.
Are you?
Yes.
There's a lot of professional golfers who are not happy about it.
Because the main winner in all of this is me and you, a golf fan. We're the ones that win.
Isn't it Liv? Who are the main winners? Because they get to own golf? Because they're basically... Liv is going to be, what we think at this point, defunct.
Liv's is basically gone, I would say.
And the Saudi investment fund are basically, essentially...
Own golf.
They're buying men's golf.
Which is incredible, because when you think about... The Saudis have been after a sport for so long, and they've bought like Newcastle United, or they tried it with the F1, and they've bought bits of a sport. They now own... male professional golf.
So I wouldn't say that's great news.
But given where we were, which is they were owning half of it anyway, and it was...
No, they had a thing up and running that was crap.
But it was, in my opinion, as I said from the start of this, the fact that all the best players weren't together anymore was ruining the sport for me.
Yeah.
The fact that I couldn't watch...
Watching Brooksy in the PGA was like,
brilliant.
Yeah.
I want to see Brooks Koepka. I want to see Bryson DeChambeau. I want to see Cam Smith on a regular event going up against your Rory McIlroys.
But what happens for
Tommy Fleetwood?
What happens for people who, obviously, you've got the Rory situation. Rory turned down a huge amount of money. To not go to live. Mm-hmm. So did a lot of other people. The rumor is that Rahm was about to sign. That is a rumor. That might be absolute nonsense.
Yeah.
But that is what people are talking about. What about people who really object to live? They really object to the whole model. They don't want to do it.
Yeah.
What do they do now? Nothing.
When you say live, that's shorthand for the Saudi.
You're right.
The public investment.
Live is effectively defunct when this ends. I think they're going to run from next year, right? It'll be the year after next year.
As of right now, there is no talk about live ending. Live could continue on.
Yeah.
But I think we all know it's going to end. From what I know, I say true on the 12th of June, is that the guys who took money to go to live will keep the money. However, when this new company exists, which is the DP World Tour, which is PGA, which was live, the guys who stayed true to the PGA Tour will have an equity share of that company.
Right.
So in a way, we'll get a decent slab of money.
Yeah.
So the Rorys who didn't take the 300 million or whatever Rory was offered, or the 800 million Tiger was offered, apparently going to get a share of the business that
it's just
made.
Really, as a golfer, it's fantastic that finally something interesting happened in golf.
And massively interesting.
Say to all my friends, I told you golf was interesting.
It is a fun sport.
You see? It is fun.
Those guys own it now.
Yeah.
What, a bit of it? No, the whole thing.
It is fun, unless you're a woman living in Saudi Arabia, in which case it's not that much fun.
Less fun.
Yeah, weirdly, Saudi Arabia didn't buy women's golf because it involves women having to be allowed outdoors. I really don't know. I hate it. I don't know where they go with it. And there's a lot of people who are going to have to swallow a lot of anger and move forward. And you're right. Of course, it's good for golf in future.
It has to be. This is good for golf in the future. There's way more money now in it. So the sport will get bigger. It will get better sponsors. There'll be bigger prize funds for the players. This should really elevate the whole sport. And that's, again, rumours as to why this has happened is because the rumours are that the PGA sort of had a feeling that they couldn't fund the lawsuits.
They were running low on cash, weren't they? Running low on cash. They only had 200 million or 500 million.
But when you're going up against the Saudis in a courtroom...
You have infinite money,
you're going to lose. And that's the rumour, is that the money wasn't there for them.
Yeah.
So now the money is going to be there via the Saudis to fund this whole game.
Yeah.
And I agree. It is conflicting because the sport is now owned by a group of very wealthy men who potentially have
another element of that.
Morals.
Another element of that is that over the last few years, especially post lockdown, golf has been opened up to a whole more diverse bunch of people, not just men, more women, more people of colour. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
Speaking of someone playing in London, which is an incredibly diverse population. Weird how when I played golf in London before the pandemic, it was just a bunch of white men.
Yeah.
And that is changing. You can totally see that. And women are playing. It's great. And then the sport is being bought. Just the men's sport is being bought by a bunch of men to play for loads of money. It just stinks a bit. But you know what? I guess over time we'll open some windows and try and waft it out and try and find a way through it. I'm not going to stop watching men's golf, But I just think it is a bit eggy.
And that's the problem. I struggle to see how certain individuals can carry on in the sport. Like the PGA, the one of the main guys at the PGA, is it Jay Monahan? I think this isn't his second name.
Yeah.
He was so adamantly against this.
He wouldn't even say live golf.
No, he brought the players in and said, this is someone who died in 9/11. These guys funded that.
That's an incredibly emotive
thing to do.
And you don't U-turn on that stuff.
And he has done.
Yeah.
The CNN report, when it went live, was him sitting next to the guy from the Public Investment Fund going, this is all right, isn't it? He must have been paid. He must have been paid a vast sum of money.
Yeah.
And Rory, this is what I don't understand. And I'm a massive Rory McIlroy fan, but I do not understand how Rory can have this opinion on PIF and the money and Saudis, and then they buy PGA, and he's like, surely all the issues are still there for him.
Yeah, he said that. I mean, he has said in a press conference, Rory said, I hate Liv, and this whole situation stinks.
But Liv is shorthand for the money that's now... Liv is not a thing. Liv is just Saudi money.
Exactly. So he said, essentially, effectively, my interpretation is that he has said, I hate the Saudi money behind this. Where does Rory go from here?
Well, it looks like he's just going to carry on, doesn't it?
Yeah, but
he's just gonna shut up.
I can't get my head around it. I just can't get my head around it. Maybe we should all just start watching more women's golf.
Well, there was a conversation for a while that maybe the guys who are so ardent against it will just go and do their own thing and set up their own league. But I'm like, we can't have another league.
No, that's not going to happen.
It's just not going to work, is it?
No, that's not going to happen.
So, in what it has been the fairest example of a good versus evil fight, evil won. Which is so crazy.
Yeah, and I think that, it is, to sort of echo, I can imagine what people are saying about us saying that, evil. Of course they're not evil. Think about the things you do every time you put petrol in your car.
Yeah, of course,
oil. I understand there's big things behind it, and we're hypocritical to sit here going, they're evil, when they're supplying us with basically the blood that keeps us all going. I get that. But I just think that it's really shocking. That's the first thing. It's the sheer shock of it. Secondly, sports washing is a real thing. Sports washing is a really serious thing where people completely rehabilitate how they're seen around the world, so that what they're doing at home is forgotten. That's what happens with Newcastle, with the Saudis. That's what happens with Man City. Qatar were looking into the Qatar World Cup, for example. There's so much stuff that happens, and their human rights is appalling. And it's like, I just want to watch golf. I don't want to have to...
I don't want a moral dilemma.
Also, I don't want to be morally superior. I don't want to sit here being all smug or morally superior.
Yeah.
But in this situation, I'm kind of forced to.
Yeah.
Because it's really, really ugly. So we're going to all have to do a lot of burying our head in the sand, which is what I did on most holes when I played the other day.
Yes. Cheers.
There you go. That's going to have to happen, because I'm not going to start watching golf.
Yeah.
Because, But at the same time, I guess we just have to hold these two ideas in our head at the same time.
And I think I want to caveat what I said with the good versus evil fight. I think that's how this is portrayed. I just don't know enough about it to go, the Saudi money's evil.
Yeah.
I don't know enough. I genuinely don't know enough about it to say that. But I think that is how this fight has been portrayed.
Yes.
As a good versus evil fight. And it is bonkers that the quote unquote evil has won. And I just don't know how I would feel.
Money talks, man. Money talks.
How would you feel if you're Rory McIlroy and for a year you have thrown yourself under the bus for this idea of something, this thing called the PGA Tour?
Those, he is supposedly towards some kind of peak of his game at the moment, age-wise, maybe not in reality, but those meetings that he'd have gone to before a major tournament, a 3-hour meeting before the US PGA started, to talk about this situation.
To defend the thing.
The time he has poured into it, and this vat of time he's poured into it, someone's just pulled the plug out the bottom and it's all just wasted. It's all gone. He must be absolutely furious. And it's not just him. There's a lot of other guys who have done it, and they've had the rug pulled from under them. They thought it was a joke, like we all did.
Don't you think it's crazy that the thing that you supported then 180'd on you and became the thing that you didn't want it to... Like, that is an incredible story.
I feel like a Lib Dem in 2010. Just going, you know what? Actually, David Cameron, he is a good lead. Like, it's that thing of having to go, when I said Saudi money was dodgy and the Saudis, have a terrible record of rights with human rights, what I meant was golf's great. Like, it's impossible. How do we do it?
You can't.
And that's the thing. Also, who's going to come and watch this or listen to this podcast and go, well, no one's coming here for a clear moral compass. I certainly hope they're not. All I can tell you is how I feel, which is that I feel gutted, but at the same time, I really love golf, so I ain't going to start watching it.
Because I think we do differ in that way.
You don't have morals, yeah.
No, I've got no morals, yeah. I'm just like, get all my favourite people together. Where's the money from? Doesn't matter, baby. Look at Rory go. Bryson DeChambeau, Rory. It's great stuff.
Well, it's still got to get voted through by the panel.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
So actually,
but it will happen. It will.
Yeah,
It will.
but the board might say no. Imagine that.
Now, this is an insane position to find ourselves in here, but we have not touched on the fact that it's the US Open and we're at time.
Okay, what do we do?
So,
what are we going to do, Tom? Make a decision.
I think this podcast is put out early.
Oh, okay.
I think we put this podcast out tonight.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we go again.
We do 2 in a week to make up for doing none last week.
I think we're going to have to because
Clever
we
boy.
can't not talk about the Open.
Love that. Okay.
So-
and we just want to say before we go, thank you so much to our sponsors, Pip. Thank you for giving us that lovely money and those wonderful cars.
Yeah. PIF.
Piff, not Pip.
PIP is the...
What's Pip?
The performer... PIP is the Players Impact Programme.
Oh my God.
And PIF is the Public Investment Fund. PIP is the money that the players get for doing well on Twitter.
As far as Rory's concerned, they've been taking a lot of both over the last something.
I don't get it.
It didn't really work.
Anyway, this is sort of earlier in the week.
Okay, fine.
And later in the week, you'll get something about the US Open because we can't not talk about a major.
Fine.
We can't do 15 minutes on your scratch game at Muswell Hill and miss a major.
Wow, sorry
not okay.
everyone. That is unacceptable. Okay, fine. Thanks for listening. We'll be back on Thursday to talk about the US Open.
Cheers.